Okay, folks, good afternoon. All right. There's a sign-in sheet going around. I hope everybody who wants to read. We got a lot of folks out here this afternoon. So before I get started, the rule is you're gonna pick your best poem. You're gonna pick your best one poem. And we're going to keep it moving because we got so many folks up here. So don't pretend like you didn't hear what I say and say, hey, Scott, can I read another one? Because I'm going to say no. And then you're going to look embarrassed. So we don't want to be embarrassed, okay? All right. Now, I got a little script that I want to go over as we get started. First of all, let me know who is not from Teaneck. Oh. You saw that? You saw them hands there? This is exactly what we want. Welcome to Teaneck, New Jersey, folks. Appreciate it. Now, what I was trying to do is create a poetry reading for the community and the community at large. And that means you guys who came from outside of Teaneck and came out to support. The Township of Teaneck, with support of the Teaneck Public Library, is excited to welcome you to our community poetry reading at the Outdoor Reading Garden. That's where we are right now. My name is Scott Pleasant, and I will be your host this afternoon, okay? I am currently sitting as the first Poet Laureate for the Township of Teaneck. Give it up. There you go. Now, my intent is to bring poetry into places and spaces in the township that it has not been before. And you guys are making history along with me because it has not been here before. And I'm excited to keep doing what we're doing. To the left, there's a marker right behind this young gentleman, Dr. Pruitt. Dr. Pruitt, raise your hand. Okay. Now you put his hand down. Okay. The marker behind Dr. Pruitt is a permanent poetry marker that has a poem that somebody that I know wrote. It's called Ode to Teaneck. And when you have an opportunity, take a look at it. It's a really cool poem. I had the opportunity to read it in front of 40,000 of our Teaneck residents. So snap a picture, post it, share it, or talk about it because it's a permanent installation in our township. And like I said, I know the young guy who wrote it, and I think he's a really cool person. Just to let you know. All right? Now, rules. The only rule that we have today is allow your words to walk down the path that you choose, within and through the grass that you walk on. Allow your words to run up and under your trees. Allow your words to be as free as the sky that serves as the limitless roof above your heads. The only rule that we have today is to allow yourself to be yourself, and the rest will take care of itself. Got it? Okay. We have some water over there in the back. There's some chips on the table. If you need to, there's a bathroom inside of the library. If they give you a hard time, tell them Dr. Pruitt sent you, and they will let you use the bathroom. I promise you. Okay? All right. Now, see, there you go. Tell them Dr. Pruitt sent you. Okay. I'm just saying. Now, words. We all carry words with us. Our words are impactful, right? Our words are written on papers. They're spoken out loud. I always wonder, like many of you, what my words would do. I always wondered what my words would do. Would they be offered to make you think, arranged in very deep thoughts? Or would they be used to make you cry, spit and spat as an insult, or recited to humiliate? I always wondered what my words would do. Well, today, my words will be used to tie a ribbon around this poem as I comb words into gentle metaphors that are brushed through simple sayings that hopefully will flow down the center of your chest at best. Today, my words will be used to unbutton your mind and unzip your consciousness, just as I place another poem on your shoulders to bear. I will ask you to turn around, so my words and our thoughts can collide or seemingly just miss. Head turn, that kiss. Like the sun avoiding the moon, like the dark disappearing on light, like the morning after the evening that pretends that yesterday never happened, yet yearning to greet each other for the very first time again. I always wondered what my words would do. Although our words have met many times on a path that runs through this script, the opening monologue, the first scene, the second scene, and side by side in the aisle at the intermission of our dreams. A chronicle that carves our vision and seemingly is broken, open to reveal the truth. I always wondered what my words would do. Thank you. Okay. Before we get started with our open reading, our open mic, we have a couple of poets here that are they're community poets, not necessarily Teaneck community, but they're in the poetry community. And I asked them to take a few minutes, and they're going to share 1, 2, 3, whatever it is that they motivated to do. And then we're going to roll into our open mic to allow you folks to read because we have such a large group. Now, the first gentleman that I'm going to ask to come up. Some people come to open mics to read, like most of us. We're sitting on the edge of the seat waiting to jump up. Can you folks in the back hear me? Great. All right. And then some of us come to just listen, which is really cool also. And then some of us come to do both. This young man comes to a lot of events, and he does both. He listens, he reads, he shares, and that's one of the things that inspired me and asked him to come up and be one of our readers today. He says his passions are technology, writing, and photography. And he wrote a really cool poem, When Venus and Jupiter Converge Over Teaneck. And it says, it's May 2026, and the moon has begun to sweep past Venus and Jupiter as the two brightest planets visible on Earth slowly converge in the early evening sky. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and welcome Bob Veritoni to the microphone.
Thank you very much. I hope you can hear me in back there. I am actually from New Milford, right over the border here, and I have 3 short poems about New Jersey. And the first one is set in the Hackettstown Butt Lake area. It's about my grandparents' old house, which we bought a couple of years ago as a family to keep it from becoming a one-stop quickie mart or another car dealership along Route 46. And anyway, it's Nonna's garden. I'm a good Italian boy, so my grandmother's Nonna, my grandfather is Nonno. And this is about Nonna's garden, which has been neglected for many years. It's called Vanishing Garden. I stand in this garden where everything vanishes. Dad in his navy blues, an arm around his first and only love. Mom under a canopy of vines, plump with grapes, with her Ava Gardner red lips redder than the nesting cardinals or the roses woven into the chain-link fence where my daughter posed with a bouquet in her first communion dress. A dress whiter than the worn milking stool where Nonna shucked corn with her and split pea pods with her penknife while humming Rodgers and Hammerstein. I stand in this garden where everything vanishes. Crows descend, bees disappear, then roses. Rust erodes the fence, the well runs dry. Only the music never dies. The night wind offers an echoing counter-melody to the ghostly hum that comforts me, posing Carousel's fatalistic question, what's the use of wondering? Although everything has vanished, I am not alone. I stand in this garden surrounded by angels. My second poem is about my grandfather. He was quite a character, and he loved poetry, and he embedded me a love of poetry. So I actually learned a lot of poems by heart that I passed along as lullabies to my children. And one of my favorite was Sailing to Byzantium by Yeats. So this first stanza is Sailing to Byzantium, and then 3 stanzas in the same rhythm and rhyme scheme as an ode to my grandfather. That is no country for old men, the young in one another's arms, the birds in the trees, those dying generations at their song, the salmon falls, the mackerel crowded seas, fish, flesh or fowl, commend all summer long whatever is begotten, born, and dies, and fought in the sensual music, all neglect monuments of an aging intellect, an aged man. This, my grandfather in his Sunday best, a cigarette dangling from its holder, a tattered suit, a worn Italian vest, with me at his side, decades less older. He does not hold my hand. There is no rest. He lectures as we walk, points my shoulders to monarch butterflies in flight toward me along the shores of Bud Lake, New Jersey. This, a backcountry road, is my classroom. Milkweed, honeysuckle, red columbine, hummingbirds, spotted touch-me-nots in bloom, blue robin's eggs, goldenrod, dandelions. My grandfather names them for me. Assumes I will remember that sparrow, that vine, the chickweed, those edible lilies, the mew of the mimicking catbirds we see. All these now dead, except in memory. I live in the suburbs, reminisce now about ancestors. In autumn, I walk the Hackensack riverbank in a drought. I watch a murder of crows chase a hawk, then roost in the sun on a golden bough. Hearing their echoing calls, I feel stalked. This, I know, is my father's song of what is past or passing or to come. Thank you. And finally, I had to do a poem about New Milford to represent, and to represent my love of photography. You'll always see me taking photos with my cell phone. And you can follow me on Instagram at @BVARPhotos, one word. I post some of my poetry link there. I don't have any books to sell. I only have, I guess, my soul to sell here. Anyway, this is called Things to Do When You're Invisible. I nursed a shaved ice at a booth at Kalani's, which is, according to its website, nestled in the heart of New Milford, New Jersey. Bill Nash used to run a store called Big Variety here. I looked for his ghost. Bill is long gone, shrouded like me behind a cloak of invisibility. Meanwhile, at Kalani's, a Korean girl in her summer clothes has stolen the attention of the high school boy behind the counter. After he dutifully took my order, shaped it, and viewed it in red, preparing the first shaved ice I will ever try. Now the boy doesn't care. I grow old, while the world around me spawns anime and new, and I am an NPC in this game of boy meets girl. When I was a newbie like the boy behind the counter, I thought invisibility, the ability to be willful without consequence, was the greatest superpower. And I know better now. I tipped my iPhone toward my bowl of unfreezing, bleeding ice. I capture its image, ensuring a focus on the melting of memory, the mining of the sublime. This is the superpower I have come to possess, ensnaring evanescence. When I take a photo or write a poem, I activate God mode. Not only invisible, I am invincible. I can stop time.
One more time for Bob. Okay, moving right along. Before I jump into our next community reader, I'm going to ask a young lady to come back up. She was one of our featured community readers last week, and she's going to do one because she said she's sticking by the rules. Put your hands together, Eileen. Eileen, welcome Eileen to the mic.
Isn't Scott the best? He really is. We are so fortunate. Got agreement going on there. Okay. I'll wait 2 seconds until it goes by. Okay, so, because a friend of mine who's here just asked me about her, a particular name that her daughter and my granddaughter shares. I'm going to read this poem that I wrote about her birth. It's called Deliverance, on the occasion of my granddaughter Margot's birth. 6 a.m. we rise from the inflatable bed on the living room floor to see them smiling at the apartment door. Our full-bellied daughter stands with her husband, ready to leave for the hospital after waiting 9 months to deliver their daughter. Calm but eager they go, while I prepare breakfast for their 2-year-old, who questions where his parents have gone and asks when his new baby sister will be born and what will we call her. We distract him with games, dress him for springtime play, and deliver him to daycare. On the way back, we watch Juilliard students assemble one by one to create an outdoor orchestra on Lincoln Center's plaza. They surround the fountain and morning commuters with instruments glinting in the sun and deliver spontaneous new music outside the fabled concert halls. Thoughts of what could go wrong with my child compete with silent prayers that fly out of my mouth, like a chorus of robins in tree branches overhead. Quicker than expected, we learn that our granddaughter is born. She greets our world with a strong bellow of her own deliverance and force. Joyously, we return home to prepare for that night's Passover celebration. As night falls, we tell the story of our passage from slavery in Egypt to deliverance as a free nation. We fill the air with questions, grateful prayers, songs, and miracles. We voice hope that next year will be better, yet our new baby's safe birth, a miracle of incomparable measure, has already shown this day of deliverance could not be any sweeter. Thank you.
Keep it going for Eileen. Okay, moving right along, we're going to bring up our next community poetry reader. Now, this young lady is a phenomenal poet. I think I remember seeing her reading in probably Hoboken years ago, and she did this fantastic poem that kind of resonated with me. She read something about her son, who was a little guy at the time, and he's probably a big man now and stuff. So it's been a minute. But her name is Felicia Sherrill. She's an author. She's a poet. She's a community leader. She's a writing consultant. She's all that and a bag of chips. Put your hands together and welcome Felicia.
Not the chips. So wonderful, Scott. This is amazing, and what an amazing space. And my brother Bob, who I love, I am so excited to hear so many of you. I recently published a poetry book, and I'd like to read 2 short poems from it if you would allow me to. Such an amazing space, an outdoor garden. And this poem might actually talk about another garden. It's called Universal Nurturers. Me, the consuming fire that sashays through the galaxy. Moon dust is trapped between my toes. I meet him, the burning ember that ignites the whole Milky Way, and together we own this forest, or we will burn it down trying. I stand nearly 7 light years tall. I sip tea with God. My legs dangle from heaven and rest somewhere in the Amazon. I am glorious. He poaches himself atop Saturn's rings. He directs meteor traffic and stretches his arms through constellations just to caress my face. He's so playful, but he is colossal. In the afternoons, I listen for the deepness in his voice when he roars thunder, when he misses me rain, when he huffs childishly bidding me closer wind, and when we finally embrace taste the rainbow. We are climactic. In the mornings, we chase the sun for fun. He helps me on top of an asteroid. I ride high past Mercury. During our evening walks, we toss the moon into its place, and sometimes we knock down satellites. And we rock Pluto to sleep. When I'm in the saltiest of moods, fire and brimstone, they blast from my ears. When he needs a smile, I pluck the tip of Mount Everest and blow snow in his face. We are the universe soul nurturers. Space is our playground. We are larger than life. Our mood commands cosmic activities. A cough and a head cold sends herds of geese flying home. We have a fallout over Mars. Across the sky that night there'll be no stars, but a solar eclipse when we make up with a kiss. It's his birthday on the 4th of July, and there's a laser show in our skies. The fastest moving comets are the result of tussling in our very own space garden. Balance is our desire, but conflict is in our nature. Sometimes a galactic catastrophe, or at other times a celestial star baby. Thank you. And for my second poem, this was nominated for an award a couple years back. It's about two brothers that's been battling for generations. This is called Dancing to Death. It uses one of my favorite forms of poetics, alliteration. Dancing to death, with ricocheting rockets on the rise and heaping helpings of hissing hot hints of horror. Downstream are dollops of debris atop decaying dead, with a scent of savagery soot and a fume of fermented fiery flesh. Seeing smoke afar, and simultaneously the sight of a slithering snake settling on the side of the sunken silhouette of a masked man. This man managed to make it more minutes beyond the mark of madness. Then he found himself mashed in the middle of this makeshift massacre. He passed, but not before more atrocities amassed, and add to that an abyss of ash and this torturous task, sifting through soil, sadly in search for shells of stained, sickly souls. Hush, while we hope to hear our hearts hum, or a mouth's mumble. Not a growl, not a grumble, not a gasp, but we found a grenade and a meticulously misused missile. Oh my. Because they leveled the local liveliness lethally. They victimized the villagers. They pillaged the parishioners, They killed the kids. They snuffed out the soldiers and wiped out witnesses. These battling brothers, these bickering brutes, Ishmael, Isaac, with their last breath, danced to their deaths. Thank you.
Keep it going for Felicia.
Thank you.
Hashtag hire me. If you want a poet, hire her. Okay, moving right along. I'm a mainstay in our local poetry scene. I see her everywhere, not just at poetry events, but just supporting the community in general. Put your hands together and welcome Eileen Head to the microphone.
So I used a die to figure out which one to do, and number one read, number one won. So I'm gonna read a poem about my grandmother, and which means I don't need this. So my grandmother was my father's stepmother, so we called her Aunt Gwen, and she lived in Parkchester in the Bronx, and she lived till she was 101 years old. And it's so funny how kids and their grandparents can get along better than kids and their mothers, and etc. So anyway, soft pedal. Aunt Gwen, you were soft white curls, brown eyes with deep, deep pockets, where I thought you hid your secret treasures. You sat in your flowered dress, working on the mending, tightening buttons, quicker than I could tie my own shoe. When you were watching us, you didn't do endless loads of laundry far away in the basement like Mom needed to. You and I turned yarn, crayons, and a brown bag into a yarn-haired doll who could talk out loud through bright red lips. In Parkchester, near your apartment, we sat in the Oval, watching angels spray raindrops back to clouds, before relishing grilled cheese and chocolate milk at chock full of nuts. Then always at tea, you read a fortune in my cup. Horses, princes, airplanes, all waiting to take me places. Now on the phone, miles away from me, you sigh, child, we lived too long. And I wish instead you'd read my fortune, revive me once again.
Keep it going, Eileen. Is there Hugh Wilson here? Who wrote Hugh Wilson? LETA? Is there an LETA? Who's coming up? Is it Hugh? He does. Keep it going, keep it going. She got a long walk from the back. Come on, Lita, we're waiting for you. You can do it, you can do it. Come on, come on, come on, come on. You would be proud of you. Come on, come on, come on.
So, just to be clear, as I said, I am not the poet. I am the reader. And Hugh Wilson is the poet. Did you stand, dear? And this is called Parkland, Florida. It was written 8 years ago, right after the tragedy there. 1. Suffer the children, martyrs to an industry's bottom line. Suffer the children, martyrs to a Congress supine. Suffer the children, martyrs to the NRA's fundamentalist whine. 2. Suffer the children, martyrs to bullets, tearing their flesh apart. Suffer the children as agony tears at their parents' heart. 3. Goodbye to friendships of giggles and gossip. Goodbye to puppy love that will never evolve. Goodbye to soccer dreams and science schemes. 4. Summon a children's crusade to rise up and be active in demolishing the lies of the slippery slope narrative. Summon a children's crusade to attack Congress with a full court press to counter the NRA's duress. 5. Suffer the children to suffer no more.
Smith, that's you. Hold on a minute. Oh, whoa. Hold on before I can. No, stay there. You're all the way in the back. All right, I'm gonna get you next. I just couldn't read your writing. No, it's okay. It's okay. We got you. So you're on deck, okay? So hold your spot. Coming up next, Talib. Are you ready? Yeah. Put your hands together. Welcome, Talib.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. This is called I Swallow the Sun. Where was God when I was sardined under Amistad? I disperse my rosary beads. Where was Adonai when I was corralled in the rail cars towards Auschwitz? I play frisbee with my yarmulke. Where was Gautama when I was atomized at Hiroshima? I snapped my bow staff. Where were the Orishas when Leopold ravaged my rubber? I smashed my idols. Where was the Most High when I labored in Stalin's gulags? I extinguished the Star of Rus. Where was the Great Mother when mining for the Dutch? I spiked my libations. Where was the Sky Serpent when Montezuma kissed the ring of Cortez? I tied blood for the mongoose. Where was Atlas's turtle when I was warmed by blighted blankets? I chopped down my totem poles. Where were the saints when Spuds left the Emerald Isle? I unraveled Gaelic knots. Where was Allah when oil's riches doomed peace? I draw Allah eating pork. I yearn to believe in God, that there's rhyme and reason to the omniverse, an arbiter of right and wrong that I just don't understand. But maybe I do understand. Maybe I'm trying to rationalize the unrationable. I yearn to believe in God, but my world is showing me otherwise. My existential dread makes me very lonely.
Keep it going for Talib. Took us to the bottom of the ocean. That was deep, right? Okay. Brianna, you ready? Hold on. I got to introduce you. Oh, all right. Coming to the microphone next, all the way from the back. Goes by the name of Brianna with the not so nice handwriting, Smith.
It's been a long time since I've read, so please just bear with me. Okay, this poem is called April. This is the first time I'm reading it out loud, but I feel like it matches the weather here today. April. Finally, a glimpse of spring. Having you near me, I come alive. Deep breaths pull in what I can. You are extraordinary. I want to lay here among all the pretty things that make you so beautiful, but this garden was not planted for me. The bees scream, "What do you have to give?" Even now, your petals are crushed under the weight of my longing. I caught a glimpse of spring and I stood just out of reach. Deep breaths pull in what I can. You're not meant for me. I close my eyes and let spring linger in my chest, terrified that my releasing breath will sound like a confession.
Brianna! Now, but next.
Oh, I got it.
You got, he got it. Enough said. He's on deck. Coming up next is Brian Lawrence. Where's Brian? There you go. Come on up. Come on, Brian. Wait for you, man. Come on up. Come on up. Yo.
My last meal. I remember my last meal. I'll never forget it. The last time I saw my family. The last time my stomach was full. It was 1 year ago. And every day I pretend it was yesterday. It is the only way I can make it to tomorrow. For I cannot let this memory wane. The many smells and tastes I took for granted. The family that completed my life, always close and now so far away. Now I'd lick a crumb off a wooden floor and risk a splinter in my tongue, just to taste anything but my nausea. I long for my double chin that I wore as a badge of contentment, which is now a gaunt bone wallpapered with skin. Every minute takes so long to pass, till I get my daily ration of molded bread and watered soup. Every day having to tie the rope tighter to keep my pants from falling off. As I look around us, As I look around me, every day there are less of us and more human landfill. I will continue to work. It is so easy to lift those starved bodies. And it is my only dream that if I could make it through today, that tomorrow will be my next meal. Thank you.
All right, Brian. All right, coming to the microphone next is a young man who needs no introduction, but I'm going to give him an introduction. He's a phenomenal young man who we might have seen around the town in different capacities. He's held various positions throughout our town. He's ascended as so far as being the president of our Board of Education, the deputy mayor of our township, the president of our block association, and he's gracing us today in the presence and disguise of a poet. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and welcome Dr. Henry Pruitt to the microphone.
You know, these days we have some trouble with the truth. I want you to take a moment to listen to the music of the trees. Everybody sitting here can agree to the music of the trees. My concern is the truth, undeniable. So I have a little note here. I call it flux, but it's about time. Today is already history, and tomorrow will never come. Today is but a mystery, an abstract thought in the human mind. A word denoting a space of time which arbitrarily starts in the morning and ends in the evening, which cannot be heard or felt or seen, but only thought of in a civilized mind. Once it has begun, it is fast on its way towards ending, and it soon becomes tomorrow, which upon arrival automatically becomes today. History is composed of all preceding yesterdays, which are in reality all today's tomorrow. These are the three ranges of time: past, present, and future. The past is infinitely being formed, the future is ever being consumed, and the present is but a fleeting instant, too small to be measured in time. Thank you.
Keep it going for Dr. Henry, the poet. Next, coming to the microphone next is going to be Satu. Where's Satu? Ah, okay. You ready? Are you ready? Do I need to pass you? No. You're fumbling around. You're taking your time. We're on the clock. Come on. Satu, welcome to the microphone.
Thank you. It's just a little difficult to get up nowadays.
Amen.
Yeah, thank you for this amazing space, Scott. I absolutely love this. This is my second time here, and this is just fabulous space, so thank you. The name of this poem is, I actually wrote this morning. So, first reading is called The Dusk of Green. On this last Sunday, at dusk of the green month of May, in remembrance of the master wordsmith Walt Whitman's birthday, which might really have been the originally intended Earth Day, I recite his verse from his Leaves of Grass, unforced and unrehearsed, as if I could hear him speaking from his grave and hearse. Give me the splendid silent sun, with its beams full dazzling. In finding the turn, my feelings and life events baffling, I take shelter in the comfort and settling landing on his words of poetry guiding me, never chiding or controlling, but actually setting me free. The long brown path before him and me, wherever we choose, stretches before us endlessly. Yet not completely healthy like him. I feel bruised and used, abused. He offers us all wisdom and lightheartedness of an open air and road in complete equanimity, fair. Wait, now I think I see a glimmer. There! It is leaving behind a red shimmer, yes, the setting sun fading and the color of the sky changing. The work of dusk has already begun. At the edge of water, a tree on the opposite shoreline has no way and nowhere to run as the feeble light withdraws itself away. A dark green reflection of its heart seems to momentarily hover and sway on the blurred movements of the waves until the contours of the bay dissolve and the dreamy vision of this very day disappears and the life's green energy fades away. I wanted something green for my birthday. I remembered green nails would be perfect for Earth Day, definitely better than gray or chambray. I wanted the color to be like dragon slay green on a bright summer's day, a green bursting from the fresh leaves of trees touched by the sun in the month of May, just for fun. The green my mother helped me see in the picture book before bedtime stories she would read before she had gone blind, comatose and dead, the opposite of my father's. Always angry, violent, and mean head turning purple and red. Spinach, arugula, and salad clean green. Cucumber, luscious, fresh, and clean, or mint, basil, and matcha tea. Somehow alive before snorkeling or jumping to dive in tropical teal. Oh no, Florida Keys tropical mangrove waters, pristine green. I suppose green can seem full of jealousy and greed for money and be insensitive and mean, but no, not my kind of green. It is pure from the heart chakra, divine and clean, made for an eternal queen. Vihreä in Finnish. Verde, verdant. Sit in your lap green. My first love, my mother's eyes green.
Keep it going for Satu. Okay, moving right along. It's Devorah. Who's Devorah? All right, sit down. Not yet. All right. See you running up here, right? No. All right. So Devorah's going to be coming up next. She's going to be followed by Ren. So hold those spaces because we're right about at the halfway mark. And springtime, wintertime, summertime, what's the weather like today? Spring, in between? This is what spring's supposed to feel like? Folks in the back. Spring?
This morning it was November.
This morning it was November? Okay. All right, so I'm bumping all of y'all to the side, okay? All right. Summertime and the living is easy. Fish are jumping and the children are high. Your daddy's rich and your mama's good looking. So hush, little poet, don't you cry. We stand by the park looking at our paths from across the street, seeing a time long gone when the sounds of bouncing balls was beautiful music and the fire hydrants kept us cool. We would wake up hungry and sometimes cry ourselves to sleep, never quite understanding why. We see teardrops in our shadows that slept with us last night, a memory from the morning after when our shadow was painted bright. When the sun was at our back and our shadow tend to hang around as a way of moving forward, kind of like the uptown train going down. We walked through the projects reminiscing of our past, when moving forward was the main objective, never realizing one day we would actually be moving back. Touching the rails as if we owned them, claiming landmarks without a deed, affirming we once lived here, we made it out, a universal message to succeed. Reaching out to greet our shadows shaped in an image of the story that we cast, intertwined with walking forward and justifying the missteps of our past. You see, our shadows never really cry and our dreams in sunlight never really lie. But it's summertime once again in the projects. So hush, little poet, don't you cry. Thank you. Okay, who's coming up next? I don't know. Who's coming up next?
Yes, you drive.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. Welcome to Devorah.
Let me take a moment to prime you all for my poem. Wait, you might give a hint of what it's about. This poem is called Sun Dance. A film of soap, a breath of air, and iridescent shimmering on the wind. This one, a golden center outlined halfway between transparent and invisible. That one swirls purple-green, flashes orange in ocean sunset on an inland afternoon. Source and observer both, I watch them, watch the children chase them. This one in rainbow flowers, that one with braided hair. One stands a sentry, directing hunters to their prey. And this wand, a pretty thing, today makes true magic. Parents, transformed, become young again, teach their children how to catch them in ancient dance of wind and light and soapy water, until, pop, they fall victim to the wind, or gravity, or a child's finger. The children will forget, and I will not remember, but these days will iridesce, bubbles in the sun.
One more time for Devorah and her bubbles. Okay, now the next young lady coming up to the microphone is a mainstay in our local poetry scene. We've seen her everywhere. I like to say that I've been around so long, I watched them grow and grow and grow and grow and grow. I first saw her down in Harlem on 145th Street outside of Famous Fish reading poems. Not really, but that was a joke, folks. That was a joke. All right. No, but in all actuality, she's a phenomenal poet. She has a new book. What's the name of the book? With the Cadence. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and welcome Rin to the microphone. Let's keep it going, keep it going.
Thank you. One more time for Scott. I always forget to do this part at the end, so I'm gonna do it at the beginning, because then I can't forget, right? I have a new book. I got published Cinco de Mayo, called With the Cadence. I have some copies with me for $20. It comes with a cute little bookmark and a sticker if you guys would like to purchase from me today. If not, that's cool.
And a signature.
And a signature,
There
yup.
you go.
If not, that's cool. I'm just happy that you guys are listening. Actually, I'm not gonna read from the book today. You'll just have to buy it if you want to hear it. Because the poem that I got inspired to read because of all of you guys, it's not in this book, unfortunately, but it's a good one. This one's called Legend. So I'm a little height deficient. My stuff. To be or not to be a legend. I want to leave this world with a huge imprint to step in, inspired by the poets past and present. Their work sparked this inferno of words, these lines strung together until the rhyme scheme becomes a blur, and all that remains is what was heard, the message. I talked so low they thought I was mic checking, but I was energy correcting. May my chakras stay aligned so I can lead with an open heart and see through my third eye. I'm just a vessel. That poetry found its home. In poetry, I found a safe haven, my own abode. From paper to stage, from tongue to pen, I write. So when poets like me unite, we strike. Like a book of matches, we strike inspiration. We empower nations. We educate generations because we aren't wary of fiction. Intensity is in poetry's main definition. There is no blueprint. Every burn pattern is different, so do what fuels you with conviction. Through love, through pain, through laughter. Ignite the crowd so they take peace with them thereafter. To be a legend, live legendary. Even if I have to say that backwards. Live legendary to be a legend, because if that's what's in your heart, then that's all that really matters. Thank you.
Let's keep it going for Rin. With the Cadence at a local bookstore near you. All right, okay. Now, coming up to the microphone next is... Where's John Smith? Hold on, John. Hold on. Oh, you're coming up next. Where's Rivka? Ah, okay. So now hold on. No, you ain't gotta move yet. You're gonna watch John come up, and then when John leaves, then Rivka's gonna come up, and we're gonna keep it moving. Put your hands together and welcome John Smith to the microphone.
This shirt says peace, love, and crabs. There was a time there was just peace and love and no crabs. Just saying. So this is something I wrote as a song and played around when I did that kind of thing. I hate to say how old I am, but it's 50 years old, this particular song. Anyway, what can I do? I heard you've been down, not feeling so swell. You think that this world is your little hell. So you shoot a spoon and it makes you feel good, after you promised that you never would. Pardon my rudeness for blowing your head. That habit you got is just wasting your bread. While you sit there dreaming, just digging the nod, you're turning the pusher into a god. Get busy living, this is no time to die. Milk sugar quinine won't get you high. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm not. That's crack that you're smoking, that isn't pot. You're chasing a dragon you think you can stop. Take it from me, it takes a lot. What you can lose, you can never replace. Your family, your friends, your own sense of space. Believe me, I know it's a race against time for the lucky and few who come out alive. You don't think you can do it? I know that you can. I know that you can, and I know that you must, before it's too late and everything's lost. Get busy living, this is no time to die. Milk sugar quinine won't get you high.
Okay, who's coming up next? Who's coming up next? It's Rivka! Rivka! Come on up to the microphone!
All right, this is by Matt Moberg, whom I highly recommend to you. This is very bridged. I found it on Facebook, and it blew me away. I just had to share it. Edited and abridged. He calls it All of It. I think every human being eventually has a moment where they are standing outside in sweatpants that have lost their will to be pants, holding a trash bag, a divorce, a parking ticket, or some other receipt from the universe that says, surprise, this too is part of it. And then the sky bruises purple, and the air touches your face like it knows your whole story. And suddenly you realize all the real is actually unreal. The dirt, the breath, the weird little bones in your hands. The fact that we are here on a floating rock with pollen counts, paying bills, missing dead people, loving living people who say leaving now, while still fully naked and looking for socks. And still the moon clocks in. No applause, no benefits, no note from management saying, great work being ancient and luminous again. Just the moon, working nights like a single mother with no applause, packing silver lunches for every dark thing that still has to rise. Tell me that isn't holy. Tell me there's a better word than sacred, for the way light keeps returning with no guarantee we will actually stop and take note. I know people who believe in therapy, probiotics, tarot, 12-step meetings, and waiting exactly 11 minutes before texting back, so they do not appear emotionally available, even though their whole nervous system is standing in the driveway holding flowers. And underneath all of it, every ritual, every doctrine, every smoothie with chia seeds, the prayer is the same. Please let me be loved. Please let me be forgiven. Please let this strange little life mean something before my lower back submits its formal resignation. What is going on? For real though, what is this place? This unbearable tenderness of being alive, long enough to watch steam lift from coffee in winter, like a soul practicing leaving. The older I get, the less use I have for certainty. Certainty has never made me pull over because the sunset looked like God dropped a jar of peach jam across the whole Midwestern sky and decided to be lazy and not clean up. Certainty has never made me gasp at rain on hot pavement. No, it has always been awe. Awe was the first church, before steeples, before committees, before men got involved and started making rules about skirts. Awe was there, with its wild hair and muddy feet, saying, look, look again. Look until looking becomes love.
Matt Moberg, she said. Right? All right, one more time for Rivka. Dancy, come on up, put your hands together.
So this is a poem from boyhood, and it's a winter poem, not a summer poem. It's called Transit DSR. The DSR is Detroit Street Railway. Transit DSR. Moving targets for snowballs, but hard to miss. Buses barreled through avenues packed thick. Drifts once white, now tire pummeled gray from exhaust. Rock salt and soot. We hid behind billboards, anticipating well-lit bullseyes carrying workers home through dusky wind-swept whiteouts. Our rated snowballs slammed, startled, banged into the riveted panels blowing past. Dozing silhouetted figures flinched behind their frosted windows. They likely cursed. Exhilarated, we frolicked home through back alleys, our short pumping legs lifting, jumping over hillocks of snowfall, gust-driven drifts blowing deeper still.
Keep it going for Dan. Okay, the next young man coming up to the microphone, he claims he's not a poet, but every time we have poetry readings, he shows up and reads. Don't ask me why. He's a phenomenal musician in his own right. He always says he's going to bring his horn, but he never brings his horn. So I think we're going to get treated to poetry again this afternoon. Put your hands together and please welcome DJ Rock L.
How's everybody doing?
Good.
Yeah. I want to thank Hugh and Lita for what they're doing. I was a reader for Eyes of New Jersey, which was an internet radio station for the visually impaired. So thank you for what you're doing. All right, that's good. Okay, thank you. Perfect. Thank you so much. This piece I wrote last week, so this is the first time. I'm headed to a church play, so I'm going to have to leave, but I felt it very important that I would read this to you today. And this is entitled, Born a Pleasant Child Who Grew to a Noble Man. Upon his birth, the die was cast, such as life we always ask, how long will it last? Though few would yet realize, with crayons of such tiny size, as a toddler, his family nurtured him with love and understanding to reach for the prize. Observing the astounding sight of his perpetual writing, day and night, this young boy was now coming into his own as an author from seeds his parents first sown. Poetry was his calling, high energy, abated any stalling. Even by moonlight on school nights, he knew his rap game was tight. Spoon feed the world, give him a nibble, a gentle bite. His friends woke early, playing sports, running and falling, but he never slept. The crossover dribble between the letters, a different kind of balling. No one could explain the bloodshot eyes, His parents, concerned, asked, "Dear son, do your friends have nurturing family ties? We know most teens at your age like to guzzle that crooked eye." "No, Mom, no, Dad. I'm the leader of my group. We're all super tight. And they know if they don't do right, they'll have to get out of my sight. Especially if it's dumb mischief they like, you're kicked out of the club. Go fly a kite." As he reached in his backpack, pulling out his secret self-published book, "I was going to surprise y'all at Christmas with signed copies, knowing that's all it took. Instead, let me read some pages as we sit in our breakfast nook. My eyes are red because I can't sleep. Words flow non-stop from my soul that I just can't keep. God is somehow sending me up this cliff, ever so steep. Never saying I'll reach the top, only saying there's millions of fans you'll one day meet. Through your poetic message, they'll sit in meditation without a peep. That silent global aura you'll cloak over the world. It will end wars, create peace. Just watch the cosmos give it a twirl. Such is the testament of your genius. So many don't see or feel how our ancestors guide us. His parents with tears streaming so hard they couldn't stop had no idea their baby was birthed to be a poet laureate, forever crowned the cream of the crop. After a few pages, his dad stood, tear stains on his shirt, and did the imaginary mic drop. "Son, can you sign that first copy for Mom and me? I want to live long enough to view its glory at the Schomburg in Harlem for all to see." That pleasant child with his crayons at the beach, who used to draw lexicons in the sand, today moves linguistic mountains, standing as a tall, noble man.
Give it up for DJ Rock Robert, and Pauline. And is there anybody in here who signed up who has not been called besides those three? Okay, no problem. Then we're down to our final three and not four. Huh? I can't hear you. We're good? All right. Okay. All right. So coming up next to the microphone, we're going to go with Ray Goldberg.
Relationships in transition. New. It ends, whether with a crash or silence, loving words or shouted recriminations, snarl or pained stare, raucous argument or whispered prayer, an empathetic hug or a cold shoulder, over herbal tea or Irish coffee, clear-eyed silver or 6 drinks down, in a gauzy bedroom or a secluded car, with breakup sex or all alone, sobbing or in quiet realization. It ends, hopefully creating space for new beginnings.
Keep it going for Ray. Okay, coming up next, we got Pauline. Welcome, Pauline, to the microphone.
Yes, this poem is called Life. Where can the answers to life be found? We might find the answers if we look around. Focus not on a Bible or a creator. Instead, follow the footprint of your ancestors. They learned to live as one with nature in order to have a healthier future. The trees are the medicine for survival. The caves were home of revival. The majestic mountain looks down, welcoming us to its mysteries untold. The animals hold the secret of freedom, escape from the prison of houses with walls and gates, where hate strives and lives eat us alive as we strive to maintain materialism which capture our mind and leave us empty and blind. We cannot see the sunlight lighting up the path in which to travel, where the moon meets us at the crossroad and deliver a message of hope as the stars look on and sparkle and shine. The wind blows, the snow shows we are not alone. Nature is here to guide us, to follow us, to save us, and to shame us when we follow a natural, complicated path to the underworld of fake money, fake laughter, fake ever after. Follow the path not paved with gold, no war will ever unfold. We are the gods we seek. Listen, learn, and repeat. We can survive unscathed from a world of calamity, a world depraved.
Yes, Pauline. Okay, before I call Robert up, is there anybody in here who signed up and I did not call you? Going once, going twice, going 3 times. No. Okay, so our final reader on the open mic list is a young man who read with us last week. He said he was going through some stuff. I told him don't share that stuff with us because we don't want to go through it with him. But in any event, he's going to share something. Put your hands together and welcome Robert to the microphone.
Okay. I'm often dealing with this internal critic that's constantly giving me a hard time, so I decided to write a poem about it. It's called The Angry Man in the Glass Jar. Unsteadily struggling towards future uncertain, fidgeting, fumbling, I rip back the curtain. Idealistic eyes see only idyllic skies, cleansing rain showers, radiant sunflowers, cool ocean breeze, wherever I please. But the pessimist is ponderous, pondering, wearisome, wandering. Will my path be serene, pacific, or dotted with obstacles horrific? Chronic pain, throbbing migraine, failed starts, broken hearts. Will I malign myself for scarcity of smarts? My internal critic, anal, analytic, punishes me, no clemency, to dizzying days, meandering in a maze. Confused and lost, I feel double-crossed. I've thought of a lobotomy to remove that worst part of me. Chances of success, slim. Instead, I'll imprison him in a tempered glass jar, admittedly bizarre. Let him rant, let him rail. He's got only 2 minutes for my character to assail. Then I'll seal the lid, discard the only key, watch from a safe distance. He's still waggling his finger at me. Out of harm's way, I'll whistle. I don't need to worry that he'll deflate my self-esteem, turn my thoughts into slurry. I've created a new life with lessening strife, bubbling with music and creative writing that'll mask the acrimonious infighting. Finally freed from the maddening maze, my mind's looking forward to happy days. No more odd couple, three's an unruly crowd. I've grown tired of his voice booming and loud. Soon I'll snuggle in corner cozy with friends and family, life joyous and rosy, laughing at the angry man in his jar, hoping I didn't push him too far, thrilled that I've regained my dignity, just praying he doesn't find that key.
Okay, one more time for Robert. Okay, folks, we're winding down. We're just about done, but before we go, I would like to ask Bob to come back up. I'd like to ask Felicia to come back up. Question, Bob, you ever got paid to write a poem? Yeah. You ever got paid to write a poem?
Yeah.
All right, you're not getting paid today, but come on up. Come on up, come on up, come on up. What I'm gonna ask them to do is they're gonna leave us with some part in poem. It's something off their head. You don't have to read it, but they're gonna share something with us. The reason why I asked have they ever got paid, because those are the things that we usually remember. So Bob's gonna go first, Felicia's gonna go next. A word, a saying, a poem, whatever it is that you like to share. Got it?
Thank you.
Okay.
I lied. I've really never gotten paid to write a poem. I have one final poem about New Jersey. It's about first love and New Jersey's folklore. It's called Burlington County, 1984. Driving up the Jersey Turnpike, skirting 1,000,000 acres of acetic sandy soil, it's almost dawn. In the passenger seat, Hester closes her eyes, adjusts the halo embroidered atop her California Angels cap, and burrows under my letter jacket for warmth. Bright Venus and the rising sun accent the needles and pines lining the highway, casting shadows that flicker and tremble like my desire. I wish I might stand still, make the sun stand still below that distant horizon. As if my car were a mason jar, as if I could punch air holes in top and examine this curiosity named Hester in the seat next to me, lazily stretching her butterfly wings. I would take the car in my hand and hold the both of us up to that faint and heavenly light. This tiny version of myself I try to preserve is me at my very best, oblivious in young love, blissfully teased by the hand of fate, warm, palm up, resting in my lap, as if in its lines I could divine our future together, as if I weren't the Jersey Devil in disguise.
He's so amazing. So I've never done this before, where I'm gonna read you a unfinished poem. Why not? Why not, right? I lament how deserted lies the city, once so full of people. How like a widow is she, who once was great among the nations. She who was queen among the provinces has now become a slave. Bitterly she weeps at night, tears are on her cheeks. Among all her lovers there is no one to comfort her. All her friends have betrayed her, they have become her enemies. That's from Lamentations, chapter 1. I lament her, I weep for her. I lament her like I lament plastic bags, plastic straws, and glass bottles with tops that pop. I lament the snap with the crackle. It don't stop. I just lament. I just lament. I lament. I lament. My 8th grade teacher, who once told us a story about the time he got stuck in an elevator as a kid, and once when he found himself squished between 11:59 and midnight, and that one time at band camp, it was hot. He was caught between the rocks, narrow spaces, tight places make him nervous. I lament. I lament with him. I lament my next door neighbor. When I was 8, she had it rough, and one night she lost a pet, a parent and her innocence. I lament her. I lament my life when I lived on 8th Street. Life was good there. Neighbors were family there. Friends were blood there. One friend told me her secrets there. I remember with a tear. I said, ain't that the devil? I lament. Thank you.
There's something called expression. It's when your thoughts collide with opportunity and manifest into words. Words that are arranged in a way that make waves in a silent room. Words that are spoken in the confines of privacy, in a mirror in your mind, in a hallway of your experience. Words that call in the darkness and are heard in the dreams that you remember. Words that are arranged on the top step of the stairway and rearranged on the bottom landing after you fall. There's something called expression, and in poetry, we simply call it words. You didn't read? What's your name? Lita? All right, come on up. Hold on, don't go nowhere. Don't put your chair away yet. No, you gotta. All right, we're gonna let Lita get in here and read a poem. All right, where were you sitting at? In the back?
Oh, yeah, she read for him.
But you called up 3 of us.
Okay, so explain yourself. I'm okay. Come on up. Welcome, Lita, to the microphone. Come on.
I didn't mean to close the show.
No, you won't close it. I promise you won't close it.
Good. As I said before, I am not the poet. But Hugh went to Delaney Hall last November, and when he came back, this is what he wrote. Circles of hell. They stood in the rain, faces etched in pain. They stood in the sun, waiting and waiting to see a loved one. They stood in the snow, no place to shelter, no place to go. Sometimes they were called in from the sun to see their loved ones. Sometimes there was pain. Next day, come again. They stood outside the jail. I don't.
Not going to win that fight.
The fire truck takes precedence. They stood outside the jail, a jail with no bail, babies cradled in their arms, checking the older ones to keep them from harm. They waited and waited and waited, then waited some more. Would they see their incarcerated one? Not sure. Sometimes the waiting ones were told their loved ones were no longer on hold, but sent to states untold. The celled inhabitants waited in pain, sometimes in vain, for wives, girlfriends, and infants. They waited inside their overcrowded cells, the conditions akin to hell.
All right, one more time for Lita. Who was here last week? A handful? All right, so most of you were not. That means I could close out with the exact same thing I closed out with last week. And it's all brand new. See, it's all brand new. Okay. If tomorrow is
Judgment Day. And I'm standing on the front lines, and the Lord asks me what I did with my life. I will say, I spent it with you. Ladies and gentlemen, poetry. Poetry is like holding hands with a stranger. It feels a little bit uncomfortable at first, but if you do it over and over and over and over again, that unfamiliar touch becomes a friend. Poetry. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, before we all go, we're going to figure something out really quick because we're done. We're done. But I told you about that really cool sign over there on the left. I told you about that handsome young man over there on the left. That's going to be our point of reference. We're going to figure out, you guys in the back too, come on up. We got to get a group picture. Can we figure this out? All right, everybody come into the circle. Come on into the circle. We're going to figure it out. Let's go this way. Let's all go that way. Let's go that way. Come on. Come on, Dan. Come on up. Come on up. Come on up. I don't get just that way somewhere. That way somewhere. Somewhere towards Dr. Pruitt. Somewhere towards the sign. We can step into the grass. However we want to do it. Yo. All right. Whoa. Come on. Just gather around the best that you can. Young lady in the stripe, get in the picture. Hey. Can't do it? Okay. All right. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Come on. Come on, figure this out. Figure it out. Figure it out.